Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm going to call it the Cubbears fan as opposed to Cubby Bears fan. It sounds like the Bears, but it's going to be Cubbears, and I'm going to offer comments on the Cubs and the Bears. I'm from Chicago originally, but I live in Mississippi now, and the whole point is that I like the Cubs, I like the Bears. I don't care that much for the White Sox, so I don't know anything about the White Sox. I don't care that much for the Bulls. I don't know if the Chicago has a soccer team, so I can't comment on that. But I watch every single Cub fan and watch every single Cub game. And I watch every single Bears game. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyway, the big question for the Bears, and why I got my Bears stuff on, is what are we going to do with Justin Fields? I was so excited when Justin Fields was drafted. I was in the hospital with a stroke, and I was so excited when the Bears traded up to get Fields at, I think, the 12th pick. So this year, everybody's arguing about whether we should keep Fields, build around him, or go with the number one pick. Last year, we traded the number one pick because we knew we had our guy. This year, we're not so sure. And a lot of people think the Bears should take Caleb Williams, although the jury's still out on whether he's the guy to get. Lewis Riddick was commenting that if the Bears were out on Fields, why did they fire Luke Getsy, the offensive coordinator for the Bears? Because if Fields was the guy, then Getsy should have got what they needed out of him, but Getsy didn't, and that's why he's gone. So I think that Bears still have a chance to build with Fields. He showed a lot of improvement when the year ended, and the Bears, when they've had a top choice, have not done well picking quarterbacks. They didn't do well with Trubisky. They passed up Mahomes. They passed up Deshaun Watson. Both guys ended up better, and the Bears would not have had to give up draft choices. This year, if they keep Fields, they can pick a lot of people. They got this year's first round draft choice and the first pick in the draft, and they got a second round pick for 25. They got a second round pick last year. So they loaded up with talent, and they got DJ Moore. So I think the Bears are going to ask for more because there's more talent for the draft choices. And the Bears will probably screw it up anyway because they've done it every time they've had a high round draft choice for a quarterback. So I say build on the defense, build on the offensive line because they need some help at left tackle. They need some help at center, and they need to get talent. And I think Fields is a functional quarterback. If he was a terrible quarterback, I'd say go get one. But there's no saying what will happen because most quarterbacks are speculative when they're drafted high in the first round. Very rarely does one work out exactly the way you want. Look at last year. Bryce Young did not play great, but he had a terrible team around him and a terrible offensive line. C.J. Stroud did. And if the Bears would have kept the pick, they probably would have picked Bryce Young. Who knows if they'd have picked C.J. Stroud. I like C.J. Stroud. I thought he was an excellent quarterback. But there is no guarantee, and you end up mortgaging your entire season when you do that. Now, looking at Eberflus, the Bears didn't fire him, so this is a make it or break it year for him, and he's going to have to show it. And nobody wants to show it with a brand new first-round quarterback. It's best to try out a new quarterback with a new coach. So if he flops this year, the Bears don't live up to what they were supposed to do, then I'd say let's go get somebody else and get a new quarterback next year. We'll get the first draft choice probably again next year if the Bears suck this year. That's the big point. A lot of people have talked about keeping Fields and drafting a quarterback like Williams. And they hired a new offensive coordinator, so I don't know that they're really going to do that, but a lot of people are asking, why are they talking about that? Well, the more he talks about keeping the first draft choice, the more he creates the illusion that the Bears aren't going to sell that pick. And that's going to force a bidding war. I think that's very clever of Ryan Poles to say, hey, I'm not sure I want to sell that pick. You're going to say that in order to generate more interest. The Bears are going to need a big haul. Next year's first round choice, and maybe the next year and second round and whatever. The Bears are going to need to load up. They got a lot of cap space. They got a chance to really build this team around Fields. And they got a new offensive coordinator who I think is going to do a lot better job than Luke Getsy did. I mean, who's going to call 4 or 5 screen passes in a row at your own goal line? I mean, there were bad calls made throughout. And I think Getsy lost some games for the Bears. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. It's Cubbears fan, like the Bears. And tell me what you think. Hit the like button if you like it. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. I'm going to keep posting content about the Cubs and the Bears. Like the Cubs pitchers and catchers are in camp right now, and we're going to talk some more about what's going to happen with Bellinger and some of the other things that are going to happen. But thank you for listening and keep tuning in. Have a great day.